What's going on, guys? This is Chimpact bringing guys the first team that I'm going to be building against MacBus for round 6 of the Smogon official ladder tournament. So I'm going to be building a team with Mega Altaria. Now this team was basically built with CTC and me, but Kratos Mauna also helped out with a few changes. So it's Mega Altaria with 2 attacks, Return and Earthquake. So it's pretty simple. You're just going to want to go with Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Return. You can go max, but I want to go with a little bit of defense to be able to take on Charizard X a little bit better, because I believe if you Mega Evolve, if you're already Mega Evolved, Flare Blitz from Charizard might not be able to 2-hit KO you if you do have a little bit of defensive use. Like, it increases your chances of not getting 2-hit KO'd. So there's that Mega Altaria. Then to go with Mega Altaria, this is not to go with Mega Altaria, but I really want to use SubCM Keldeo. I feel like that's a really good Pokemon right now. I really was not a fan of Keldeo when Salamence was still around, just because like 108 speed was not the greatest with Mega Mints running around with 120, and it's a great Greninja check because a lot of Greninjas don't run grass or psychic coverage, but some might. But you know, if they do, then I have a Pokemon ready for that as well. So basically it's going to be Calm Mind Keldeo. And it's also a pretty decent answer to Bisharp as well. Like with Altaria and Keldeo, Bisharp is not really going to be a problem. So max, no, never that, bro. What the heck is going on? So yeah. You got SubCM Keldeo. It's a very good Pokemon. It's really great against sand offense, and it's just a great Pokemon in general. It's a great Dark Resist for a knockoff, and it can set up on a lot of Pokemon. So along with Keldeo, the thing is, this Pokemon's kind of walled by Latios, and I need a Steel type because Clefable is definitely a problem, so I need a Steel type to answer Fairies. So I'm gonna go with Jirachi here. Now the team that was passed to me had a Iron had Toxic Fire Punch, or it had Body Slam over Toxic. But the thing is, this team doesn't have an answer to Dragons, so I need this to be relatively bulky and have some sort of recovery. So it's going to be Wish Protect. And Wish Protect is also cool because with Protect, you're able to scout for Choice Mons. So that's always, like, usually whenever I have Protect on a Pokemon, it's like, it feels like a wasted move slot, especially with Wish. But Jirachi has a lot of Pokemon that, like, really you need to see what they're going to lock themselves into. And if you don't know the Jirachi moveset, if you don't reveal Wish before and you go for Protect on like a Lando, it really changes the pace of the game, and the momentum just shifts instantly. So I'm also going to go for Iron Head and Fire Punch. I'm going to go for Fire Punch because I don't want to get walled by Ferrothorn and give it more switch-ins, because it's really annoying to have Ferrothorn lead seed up and recover a lot of health, especially with Altaria on the team. And Ferrothorn can also just take a Secret Sword if I'm not boosted, so that's really annoying to deal with. I'm going to go max HP, of course. Careful Nature, because I'm going to invest a lot in special defense, and I think enough HP for Bisharp so that it can't knock me off. I think this is the spread. So the very next Pokemon, there's no Stealth Rock on this team yet, so I'm going to add Stealth Rock, and the Stealth Rock user is going to be Landorus. Landorus is just a great Pokemon. It's a great pivot. With U-turn, it's very good because you can allow yourself to U-turn into one of your 2 set of Pokemon, and with Jirachi it forms a really good defensive core. and it's just overall really solid Pokemon. It's a great answer to opposing Landorus, which if people are running Scarf Lando, that's just really good, because if you're running Leftovers Lando, you automatically have an advantage over other Lando, because they're kind of forced to go for U-turn repeatedly. Like, you have that advantage of where, like, they can't risk you going for Earthquake, because that's just a free switch and it's just a free U-turn for yourself. So yeah, and just gonna go, what the flip is, why does it always do this to me? Like, impish, always. And then max defense. So you got Lando, you got Jirachi, you got Keldeo, and you got Altaria. So this is a pretty solid team. You have two Pokemon that are great setup Pokemon, and this is just a great Pokemon against Stall, because with SubCM, Scald, the chance to burn, Secret Sword hitting those really especially defensive Pokemon that don't have the greatest physical defenses. Like, even if Secret Sword wasn't stab and wasn't super effective against Chansey, it would just be really good anyway, just because it hits the physical side. It's just similar to Latios, of course, and Latias, where they have Psy Shock to be able to hit them a little bit harder, to force them to go for more soft boileds and maybe potentially stall them out, or force them to keep repeatedly going for soft boileds. But yeah, Secret Sword is just an amazing attack. And next Pokemon, of course, it's going to be Talonflame. I like Talonflame because it's a great revenge killer, and I already have really good Like, the thing is that Talonflame doesn't really excel against sand offense because of all the steel and rock types that are on sand offense, and like sometimes they run Lando, so with the Intimidate it's really annoying to deal with. But with Landorus, Jirachi, and Keldeo, and I guess Altaria as well, even though Extra Drill is a really big problem for Altaria. With these three Pokemon, like, the thing is, Jirachi doesn't beat Keldeo or Extra Drill, but it doesn't really give it momentum to go for Earthquake, because with Altaria, they're forced to go for Iron Head on it, but you have Landorus, and Landorus doesn't really... Landorus can take Iron Heads, but it doesn't like to repeatedly take them because it doesn't have recovery. But with Jirachi, they're forced to go for Earthquake or predict the Landorus, so like you have more freedom there. But this way, if with Altaria versus Lando, they're going to get damage guaranteed on Landorus, but with Jirachi Lando, they're not guaranteed to get damage. They have to make a play to do it. So with this, it's win-win. With this, they have to make a play. So Talonflame doesn't really excel against sand offense because of Tyranitar Extra Drill, of course, but with me covering sand offense really well, it's just a great revenge killer, and it's going to have a Tailwind to help me against offense as well, because with Keldeo, it handles Keldeo handles really defensive teams really well, and even against offense, it's a great Pokemon. It's a great pivot for dark types like Bisharp, and it's a great pivot for Greninja as well, and it just beats a lot of Pokemon one-on-one. The only thing that it's really miserable against is against dragons, but I do have Jirachi and potentially Altaria as well, and Talonflame doesn't really do great against dragons either, but it's not too bad, and Jirachi with Altaria can handle the Latios pretty well as well. So you have Brave Bird, U-turn with these two is pretty good, just in case you get momentum, and Flare Blitz, of course, and then the last move is going to be Tailwind, just in case you need to sack this, and just give that Keldeo just some nice speed. So yeah, with this Talonflame, we're going to go Jolly and give it enough speed for Thunders and Starmie, and then put the rest in HP. And the cool thing is that you get an odd number of HP naturally after you outspeed Starmie, so that's pretty cool, because now you don't have to worry about like adding random defense EVs. So that's cool. Talonflame, and then you're going to need a Defogger or a Route Spinner to finish out the team, so that's why I'm going to go out with Latios. Latios, you're going to want a little bit of offense over Latias, and the thing is, it's really cool if you have Healing Wish on Lati, but I really prefer the damage output that Latios provides. So we're going to go Draco Meteor, Psyshock, Roost. Roost is cool because it allows you to defog a little bit better and play around Bisharp a little bit, because you can always, like, it's really difficult for you to deal with Bisharp without double switching, but after a couple rock switches from the Bisharp, Draco Meteor can 2-hit KO, and with Roost, they're kind of forced to go for knockoff or sucker punch. I mean, they're forced to go for sucker punch, and then that's when you can go out into Keldeo or Altaria, but you have to ensure that they're not Jolly, otherwise you're gonna get wrecked. But yeah, this is a really good Pokemon to deal with, and Jirachi as well, because it has Fire Punch, and Fire Punch is mostly just for Steel types. So Defog is obviously going to be the last move, and you're going to just go max. So yeah, this is the team, and I really like it because you have these two setup Pokemon, and these two Pokemon have they're really good core together. Because they don't really have similar Pokemon that they switch out into, but most teams, like, they're really not prepared for Mega Altaria because, oh, this is supposed to be Roost. Oh my gosh, if I had Dragon Claw over Roost, that would have been really bad. But yeah, Fairy ground coverage is really solid. Like, Gliscor can't really beat it because you have Roost, and Gliscor can't beat Keldeo because you have Substitute to be able to block the Toxic and then Scald it repeatedly. And then there's also the fact that you have Roost on Latios, so you can Roost up with this and then Roost up with that, so if they're trying to Toxic stall you, you can outstall Gliscor, which is really cool. And Earthquake, I believe, after an Intimidate or two, will not be able to break Keldeo's Substitute, so you can sub up on that. The thing is, I'm not really going to expect him to bring Gliscor anyway, but the thing is, like, Gliscor is really not a threat to me. I'm really not too worried about Gliscor. Like, Landorus is going to be kind of annoying, but Gliscor is something that I'm not expecting. So yeah, these two Pokemon are really good at breaking down cores. This is just the Fairy switching and Dragon switching because you got the Wish to heal up the team. I'm not really going to be using Wish to heal up the team except Landorus, because Talonflame, it's really not going to be able to appreciate a switch-in. Keldeo, it's really not going to, like, I don't think I'm going to need the HP for it to matter. I've Roost on this and I've Roost on this, so it's pretty much just for itself and Landorus. I really needed to be able to heal itself for, like I said, the Dragons and the Fairy types, and even the Steel types where I have to go for Fire Punch. I need a little bit more HP to be able to take the one initial hit. Like, I can take an Earthquake from Excadrill, and I can take an Earthquake from, or a knockoff. Well, I don't think I will be able to take a knockoff, but I probably can. I'm not gonna calculate, but I probably can, and I can just go for Fire Punch. So that's, it's the reason why I have this, to be able to outspeed it. So yeah, Landorus is just a great pivot, along with U-turn. With these two Pokemon with U-turn, it helps, like, get me free switches into Keldeo and Altaria. Like, the thing is, Landorus is pretty fast, but it forces so many switches where, like, I can just go for U-turn, and because these two Pokemon don't have similar counters, I can just U-turn and go out into the Pokemon accordingly to where it's going to be a little bit more effective. Or I can just U-turn out into Talonflame if these two Pokemon aren't going to cut it. Like, Venusaur handles these two Pokemon pretty well, as well as Jirachi, but yeah, like, with these two Pokemon, they can handle Venusaur really well. And Venusaur, like, I can easily just go for Earthquake as well, because Venusaur has to go for Synthesis. It only has 8 Synthesis to go for, so it has to rely on Giga Drain and Synthesis Recovery, which is not the greatest, and I have Jirachi, which can also burn it as well. Yeah, I really like this U-turn core, and then you have to run a Defog user if you're using Talonflame. So Talonflame is just the Pokemon that's capable of just winning games, and you need to be able to outspeed Thundurus to be able to go for Brave Bird or Flare Blitz if they want to just go for Thunderbolt. Like, you need to go for Brave Bird to be able to outspeed their Thunder Wave. So yeah, that's gonna be the first team. Obviously, I'm gonna nickname these Pokemon out of core characters, of course, but yeah, that's gonna be the team. I'm going to leave an importable of the team in the description below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like if you did enjoy. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.